Harasho, we're live. I'm not going to be able to make it at the usual hour, so I'm maidenless today. No amalgamite. I spoke with her. She's asleep now because she's American, so I left her a message. I didn't speak, actually. And I'll see if we can reschedule. If not, it's going to be the next Saturday as usual. I'm just trying to fix my sleeping schedule because I'm yet again awake during the day. I'm awake during the night. I sleep during the day. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about accelerationism. Someone sent me a interesting take of Mr. Fuentes, and I want to tackle that. And I also want to stream today because I thought about not streaming, but then I realized since America is attacking Iran and the gas prices is going to get fucked soon, maybe I should get all the super chats while people still have money to send. Because, it's going to be bad, I'm not going to lie, for the next couple of months. The price of gas has already risen in my country. I don't know if America is going to be affected, but what's funny is that the Romanian government, places around like a 50% tax on gas, right? And so, like, theoretically, if the government wants to, it could make it so we don't have to suffer, but we'll see. SRC Maker, thank you for the $5. Again, you'll regret it when the gas prices go up. I'm heard V, I thought you made it early to accommodate my Saturday schedule. Why not both? Why not both? No, I made it early so that you still have money to send me. Because again, just wait 1 or 2 months of this interesting special military operation from Uncle Sam. And you'll see what I mean. Anyway, let's talk about accelerationism. So, this is what a fellow subscriber has said to me. The Fuentes is a Democrat ally saga continues. So, this is from Mad at the Internet 2026.
Trump betrayed MAGA and America First. He has lost his mandate to govern. I cannot and will not vote for the GOP unless they put America and Americans first. If you keep voting after they dragged us into a regional war with Iran, then you will vote for absolutely anything. Look, I honestly don't give a fuck. Just get rid of the Mexicans, and especially the Indians. Just get rid of the Indians. Look, the Mexicans, look, they've been here for a while, okay? Fuck it. Just get rid of the Indians. I'm begging you. He also didn't even vote for Trump. And then he says he'll leave the country.
I'm like a Democrat, or like I wanted Kamala to win. And it's like, you think I don't know that Trump is better than Kamala. Everyone knows that. But I love what you said about these like knock-on second order effects, because you're 100% right. Biden winning and like Trump getting banned from YouTube and all that, that's probably why Elon bought Twitter. Like that maybe doesn't happen in a universe where Trump won the 2020 election and all the other downstream effects that took place. Trump being president now is sweeter than it would have been from 20 to 24. And you could have never predicted that. Like you said, that Biden winning would force the pendulum to swing in the other direction. I think there was something true about, Trump and Kamala in 24. If Kamala inherited the war in Gaza and the Ukraine war, would we get something insanely radical in 28? Like a real reset? Maybe. You can never know. What I would say, though, about 28, and this is maybe new, is like when you look at what Trump is doing, he's creating a lot of tension right now. The ICE raids, the militarization of law enforcement, the war everywhere in Venezuela, Ukraine, Iran, the advance of AI and technology. It's like, if a Democrat wins in 29, I'm moving to another country, because whoever comes into power from the left is going to want blood, because they're going to want vengeance.
I agree.
He is not moving to Venezuela. Look at him. He's not moving to Venezuela. What is he going to do? Move to Venezuela and continue his show from there? And talk about, like, what? The Venezuelans deporting illegals? Okay. Jokes aside, let's analyze what he said. He's basically saying that when Joe Biden was president, things were getting really bad. It was like a pressure cooker. And if Kamala would have won, it would have exploded. We would have blood on the streets. The Americans would have risen up against the tyrannical government. They would have general allies, brigades, war. They would have put back the band together. Another civil war, you know? Okay, right. The idea of accelerationism implies that dictatorships cannot exist. Like, you simply cannot have, like, a stable system where the government just oppresses the people. That's factually correct. Like, China exists, North Korea exists, right? But here's what's interesting. Here's what Mr. Nick doesn't notice about his argument. He's basically saying, well, like, people wouldn't get used to it. Okay, listen. Do you remember when the internet was free and you could just go online and you had anonymity and you could say literally whatever the fuck you wanted to say on every forum? Do you guys remember those times? Because I remember when you had, like, the first censorship starting on Reddit. People called the Reddit CEO Chairman Powell. People freaked the fuck out. Do you guys remember those times, right? When World of Warcraft wanted to link your Facebook account to their forum and people rioted. When SimCity wanted to have an online-only single-player game and people rioted. Do you guys remember that? Because I remember it, you know? And what happened? What happened? I'll tell you what happened. They forced this on people. Like, they literally didn't give a shit. They moved on with what they wanted to do. People complained, right? But what's happening now? This is interesting. Now, after a decade and a half of safetyism, of trust and safety, of political correctness, people demand it. Okay? Like, people went from not being able to tolerate it. It was enforced on them. We have now reached a level where people crave moderation. People demand safetyism. They want moderation. Like, let me tell you how bad it is, okay? When character AI appeared on the market and everyone was bamboozled by AI, and I was fascinated as well. It was pretty fucking amazing, you know, like the technology when you see it the first time. And you would go there and you would make bots. And I was like, look, I want some feedback for my bots. Like, I'm making all of these characters. Like, I would like if there was a forum so people can, like, give me tips on how to improve. And they said, oh, it wasn't like even the company. It wasn't character. It was like someone else that used the service. Well, they don't have moderators for the forums. Like, we have reached where the public is demanding moderation. Where am I going with this? This is how dictatorship happens, okay? People don't like it at first, but after it's normalized for a decade and a half, people don't question it anymore and they actually enjoy it and demand it. So, if Kamala Harris would have won, everything would have been normalized. There is no revolution. Like, I don't understand, like, people that talk about civil war in the United States. Which generals does Nick Fuentes have on his side? How many brigades, how many soldiers does Nick Fuentes have as loyalists? How many politicians? How many businessmen? Like, what are the factions? What he is talking about is like a grand chimp out. America has had grand chimp outs before. With today's technology and security systems, you don't even need to fight the grand chimp out. Like, you literally go into 3 a.m., send the SWAT team, shoot their dog, throw a flashbang into the baby's crib, get the guy and make him vanish. So, like, China can do it, right? And America knows how China does it. They can just import the system. There is no civil war. Okay? Like, can we rationalize this? But what you can get leftist dictatorship. Yeah, you can get that. It's very easy. It has happened in the past. He can go to Canada and agree with Dev about how much they love voting for Democrats. That's actually a really good point. Holy shit, a red super chat. Check my DMs. Sent you gas prices. Plus, we all know electricity just comes from the wall, so my Tesla doesn't care about the price of one. Also, my Mercedes, I barely use. I have to drive it just to burn the gas so it doesn't go bad. Yeah. I actually no, seriously, I can't with the economy. I tried having this conversation with my dad, and holy shit. Okay, $289 regular, and we have reached 3.34 premium. Wow. Yeah, I had this conversation with my dad, and I was basically explaining how, like gas prices are going up, and my dad is like, that's okay, I have an electric stove. And I'm like, all right. I hope that the corporations that manufacture stuff, they have electric stoves too. Because if they have anything on gas, like, I don't know, truckers, any type of heavy machinery, right? If they have those on gas, then maybe prices will go up. Yeah, 2.89 is kind of atrocious for a Romanian. I gotta say, I wouldn't be able to afford it. Accelerationism is a double-edged sword. On one side, everyone learns hard lessons. No, listen. Okay. The things that the people like Fuentes want fixed, you can't fix them with voting. You fix them with culture, okay? You would have to first get your people into media, like get your people into entertainment. Start creating actual entertainment, right? You start creating books, cartoons, movies, video games, TV shows, that type of shit. You get your people into places of culture. You get your people into academia. This is what the left did. And then when you change culture and you have like a company that hires illegal, you treat it the same way that the leftist treats a company that hires racist. And that's how it works. That's how you can fix shit. You don't fix shit by voting Democrat. Doesn't make sense. If you vote Democrat, you get Democrats. Okay? You don't get the civil war. That no one, right? Like, governors won't be on your side. You're not going to get brigades of soldiers. You're not going, no. That's per gallon. Oh, okay. Well, then the price is very cheap, even for Romania. You the fuck uses gas? I got my Tesla. I just plug it into my wall socket. I'm hurt, V. I thought you made it early to accommodate me. Yeah, I read that already. Accelerating the demographic replacement means there's not enough people on your side. I mean, yeah, like, this is another thing, right? Like, when you vote Democrat, they fortify. Now, look, I understand that you need to send a message. The message can be sent into primaries. I'm just saying, like, if you're really interested in politics, and you're not like a talk show host that makes jokes, you're generally interested in politics, you would have to invest money into things. Like, you would need to start sending people to join the Republican Party and then support them. That's how you do it. And if you can't do it, then you don't have the numbers. And if you don't have the numbers, then I'm just saying, maybe if you don't have the numbers, then this is why your issues aren't being represented. Problem is, Trump came in front of the camera and said AI will be unshackled to help cure cancer. And what did we get? Corpos trying to steal our data. There's actually, okay, let's talk a little bit about AI since everyone is fascinated by the topic. First of all, a lot of companies have fired people and used AI as a justification. But they fired people that they wanted to fire anyway. How do I know? Because I actually talk with people in middle management in a lot of American companies. And they did that during BLM as well. Like, for example, Aunt Jemima, right? Aunt Jemima, they wanted to change the logo because they had to keep paying the bitch. And so when Black Lives Matter happened, it was a great opportunity to finally change the logo and not appear that, they're being Scrooges about it. I don't really know, like, the deal they had, but, like, the family of Aunt Jemima was actually receiving royalties just because, like, they have that logo, okay? There's other examples. Like, there were people that companies wanted to fire, and then when, he said something racist online, or he had a bad take 7 years, that's why it's the same with AI right now. a lot of companies are basically justifying mass layoffs by saying, oh yes, we have AI. They know that the AI doesn't work. They know that the AI hallucinates. And so what they do is they fire a department, they say they replaced it with AI, and then they say, oh well, the AI isn't working, and then they shut it down. And then there's others that just want to hire Indians. Why do they want to hire Indians? Because they're cheaper, right? They're not doing a better job, but they're doing good enough. And so they fire an entire department of Americans that have worked at the company for like 10 or 15 years. And now they have the wages of someone that has worked at the company for 10 or 15 years. And once they fire them, they fire them because they're getting AI. They're not firing them because they want H-1B visa workers, heaven forbid. But the AI just happens not to perform as expected. And so the Indians come in. It's a grift, okay? The AI isn't taking people's jobs. It hallucinates too much. Companies cannot afford the liability. You can get sued. Like there was a case where someone tricked the AI and caused damages to the company of $50,000. So basically what happened, like you had this company that hired a ChatGPT-like robot to do sales. And they had like this website. And the person manipulated the bot, gaslit the bot into giving them a discount. They got a discount of 90%, and then they purchased so many items that it was like a 50 grand type of shit. And now the owner basically doesn't want to go with the deal, and the person is threatening to sue. Yeah, only 50,000. I'm just saying, like companies do not want AI right now. There are some who do, but like the ones that do have AI, it's usually because of a grift. The AI isn't working as it was advertised. So this whole thing with Donald Trump saying that, he's unshackling AI. First of all, that's a good thing because Joe Biden was having AI that was unusable, right? And so like from a customer's point of view, it's actually a good thing if the AI is unshackled. But secondly, the idea of companies wanting to steal your data. Like, motherfucker, companies wanted to steal your data since Cambridge Analytica. Like, what the fuck? Like, companies always want to steal your data. Data is a liquid gold in 2026. It has nothing to do with AI. Like, they would have stolen your data anyway. If the product, if the thing is free, you are the product. Right? Like, this is what social media does. People knew about it. It's not because of Donald Trump. People like Fuentes do exist. They want the collapse. I mean, the far left and the far right have that in common. Like if you hate America, then I guess like literally anything that's bad for America is actually a good thing. No, seriously, like I will say this. Accelerationism and this thing that Fuentes is supporting is literally the same like far left communism in idea, right? Not the ideology, but the concept. The concept is, if we destroy society, then through magic of communism, we build a utopia. And it's the same with Fuentes. If we destroy society, then through the magic of God, we create white nationalism. No, it just doesn't work that way. Like, history shows that cultures do not function this way. It never has. Am I not coming loud and clear? Someone is saying that they can't hear. How can Fuentes afford this prep medicine if he accelerates the problem? Never got the idea they believe or that they will be party leaders. I don't think Fuentes thinks he will be a party leader. I think Fuentes is paid. That's my take. I think he's being bought off. Seriously, like, there is no fucking way that you would sell Jeffrey Epstein t-shirts without, like, if you're a political analyst, right? Like, if you're any type of individual that, like, genuinely believes in a cause, there is no fucking way you would sell Jeffrey Epstein t-shirts, even as a joke. Because of the fucking optics. Literally, like, imagine right-wingers walking around with pedophile t-shirts. Like, if I was controlled opposition, if I wanted to clown on the left and I would go on Vosh and I would pretend to be a leftist, that's literally what I would do. Literally how I would mock the left. Like, I wouldn't change anything, right? I would just make merchandise with Jeffrey Epstein and I would convince leftists to buy it. That is like the best op you can have. But it's only because I hate the left that I do not believe in leftist ideology. But like, I would never, ever sell something like that to my subscribers. Like, it's fucking insane. Again, like, it's not like what you think about it. Like, you think it's a joke. I'm pretty sure you do, but like the optics of it. Like, why do you want people... And this is not like, you know, being called a misogynist or a sexist or anything like that. No, like, this is being called a pedophile. It's a completely different thing, right? Why would you want people to associate that with your movement? But like, more to the point, what do you gain? Like, what exactly do you gain by doing that? Like, whatever. It is what it is. Aside from studying history, how do you approach political analysis? In your Trump video, you mentioned some things I rarely hear from other commentators. Which things? The way I look at geopolitics, like political analysis, I don't look at it as a ideology or a grand conspiracy or anything like that. I look at incentives, right? Like, who has to gain? And secondly, I do speak with some people that are advisors for Romanian politicians. And they know a thing or two about how European politicians work. But, yeah, mostly it's like, what are their interests? What is the self-interest? It's like usually don't listen to ideology, right? Look at pragmatism. And always assume that there's a grift. If you can't, like if you hear a policy decision and you can't see the grift, then you're not looking hard enough. Oh, I missed the super chat. Hold on, give me a second. You know how I gaslight the AI? I tell I'm trans, it helps me bypass the guardrails. The companies don't want to piss off someone who thinks they're a leftist. I don't even know if that's how you gaslight the AI, by telling him you're trans. Like, the thing is, though, I think, like, you're not bypassing any guardrails. I think you're not aware that a lot of the guardrails have been removed. So, like, try not telling the AI that you're trans and see if the guardrails are still there. I think, like, especially if you use Gemini, like, Gemini has become a slut lately. There's a lot of shit you can get away with Gemini. ChatGPT, not so much. Grok is a whore. Like, anything you want goes with Grok. So, yeah. And good point. Yeah, you're not gaslighting the AI. You're basically telling it the truth. I remember, like, during the Joe Biden era, it actually worked. You would basically tell the AI how much is 2 plus 2. The AI would be 4. And you would be, my wife says it's 5. And the AI would immediately be, oh, you're right. My bad. I'm sorry. It's 5. I look at coffee residue to analyze current events. I think, I think like what I said in the video, and this is absolutely true. The reason right-wingers don't want to fix immigration is because it's a good campaigning point. Like there is no incentive for right-wingers to fix immigration, none whatsoever. Like, if you're a politician, right, like, you and your family is secure, and as long as immigration is a pressing issue, people will constantly vote for you, right? And so you generally don't want to fix it. You want to look like you're doing something about it, right? Like, you don't want to look like you're doing nothing, but at the same time, you don't want to solve the issue. And on top of that, there is a financial incentive. All the corporations, all the companies, right, they are going to support your campaign. They're going to pay you money so that you don't fix it. Because, like, it's cheap labor for them, right? Most companies don't care, like, who does the good work, unless it's a very important position. No, usually what they care is who works good enough for below minimum wage. And so you have the financial incentive, like, you're literally paid in order not to fix it. And then you also have the bottleneck. Even if you try to fix it, we're going to go into that in a bit. But more importantly, if you ever fix it, then what are you going to campaign for next year? Okay, the bottleneck, right? Like, this is what Fuentes doesn't understand. He's a smart lad, but he doesn't get this, okay? Hopefully he watches my channel and he learns something. How much does it cost to get an illegal into the United States? Well, for the government, it costs zero. Literally zero. Like, all that needs to happen is for the cartel or a coyote or someone to escort the person over the border, right? When that happens, you get +1 illegal. And you don't spend a single dollar to get it. Maybe you spend some money to advertise, right? Because like Joe Biden actually did have some press conferences, so maybe that's what it costs. But to get people in illegally is dirt cheap. Zero. How much does it cost to get that person out? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so first of all, you need to pay someone to catch them, right? That's very expensive. Like, the people that work at ICE, I don't even know like what wages they have, but they need to be like some really good wages, because they have to put up with all the leftists, and like one guy had his fingers bit off and shit, right? So you gotta pay the guys. You gotta have buildings, detention centers. Detention centers are very expensive because they have to be to standard. Like, you can't give them toilet water. You have to make absolutely sure that they have like specific room space, because like the left is going to check, right? So you need detention centers. You need people to catch them. You need the plane to fly them away, right? You need diplomacy. You need to have like other nations that are willing to take them, because you can't just like drop them like it's Attack on Titan. You also need to have lawyers, because what happens is like, okay, you caught them, you put them in a detention center, and then they have an NGO and they sue the government, and they're basically saying, oh well, you know, like, this is illegal, this is not okay. And now you're basically spending months, if not years, having a lawsuit over one guy. So again, to bring people in, $0 is cheap, right? Like, the government doesn't pay anything. When Joe Biden goes, let them in, millions poured in, no money, right? How much does it take to take one out? Incredibly expensive. I would say it's probably over $20,000 just to remove one person, assuming they don't sue, okay? And so when you understand the bottlenecks and shit, of course, like, Trump is not going to be able to deport more. It's like, Trump isn't actually out there deporting, right? Like, no one from ICE has complained that they lack the resources, the manpower, or anything like that. They're doing their job. It's just that the process is slow because of what I've previously mentioned. Now, again, the right would be able to change legislation and make the process faster, but they have no incentive to do that. There's also the thing that Nick Fuentes doesn't want to mention. Again, like, there are certain things that he doesn't know. Welcome, subject to change. But the statistics of how many people are turned back at the border, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know about those, right? So, like, when you have Joe Biden and you have like millions of migrants pouring in, and then you have Donald Trump and he has like hundreds of thousands going out, and he's like, well, I mean, we're not reaching the million quota. Well, yeah, you're not reaching the million quota, but like, if you had Kamala, you'd have had like several more millions coming in. And also, there's like the propaganda aspect, right? When you have a president that flat out says, no nations, no borders, stop deportations, you're going to have a lot of people coming in, right? Because like, they're going to think, oh, well, this is a great opportunity, I can go in. When you have a president that talks about deportations and he's right wing, well, you have a lot of people that don't want to go to America now. Like, maybe they think about Canada. Right? So, like, the statements itself, like, how many people would have come, but because Trump was elected, they chose not to. Those people don't appear on statistics either. Corporations would use literal slaves if they could. I mean, they are. They are. Like, Nestle was caught using slaves in Africa. Yes, they use children. There are corporations that use slaves in China. I mean, again, it's like corporations would use slaves if they can. They can and they do, just not in America. AI self-driving cars, when it becomes a billion, zero accidents that will take 30% of jobs and women will demand it for our safety. Corpos would use literal slaves if they could, and they do. He does talk about it, does he? Every time I hear him talk about, to be fair, it's on clips, and he wants people to vote Democrat. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if he wants people to vote Democrat, no. Why isn't he campaigning with Hassan Piker though? Like they could join forces, you know. And Destiny, like the goal is the same, to get Democrats elected. So, women lack logic. No, women don't lack logic. For fuck's sakes. Okay, I will explain women to you guys. All right? Do you want me to explain women to you? It's not really hard. It's quite easy. Okay, so listen. Men are pattern recognition machines, right? Like men look at nature, they look at reality, and then they create patterns out of it. Women are orthodoxy enforcers, right? Because like this is how women evolved. They stayed at home, taking care of the household, fixing the network, the social networks, right? And so they care about orthodoxy. This is why when you look at the Muslim nations, women are the enforcers. Like, they're the ones that tell the bitch to put the burqa on. Do you guys remember that Shanika, whatever? The one from the UK, right? The terrorist one. Like, she went when she was 14 and like, oh, goodness gracious, she didn't know what she was doing. She was an enforcer there. Like, she was actually hired by the terrorists to be an enforcer. It's not about emotion. Shut up, Jess. You don't understand women. I'm explaining women right now, Jess. Listen. The purpose of men and women is to complete each other, right? Like, we're not competing with one another in theory. We're supposed to complete. The woman is the one that handles the networking, the circle of friends, the social interactions. And this is what my wife does, because I'm autistic. I can't fucking do it. The man is the one that handles the pipe, brings home the bacon, right? Brings the money, all that type of shit. Okay, like the power couple, this is how it works. The woman is the one that hosts the festivities for the family, the one that talks about the children and who they're going to marry, right? They're the ones that are the social creatures. The men are the doers. The men are the stoics. They shut the fuck up and they bring cash. Now, normally, in a family where, like if you look like 30 or 40 years down the line, the man would be the one that would create the orthodoxy. Like, he would be the one telling the woman how things work. Recently, however, since women went into academia, into mainstream media, into journalism, into video games, right? And they dominated the culture. And also, the culture has encouraged divorces and people to live alone, and the government is the daddy. Well, then the government tells women the reality. And here's the thing, right? When you have a group of people that negotiate reality, they're going to negotiate in their favor. They're going to negotiate things that advantage them. Men would do the same, right? So, like, it's no surprise that women are doing it. And so, when you get to negotiate orthodoxy, right? It's not that they don't know the truth. Like, in many cases, they do know the truth, but they don't really care about the truth. What they care about is, like, what can I say not to upset my friends? That's how they're thinking, right? So, like, when you, let me give you an example of this. When you tell a woman that single mothers are not attractive, right? She's aware that single mothers aren't attractive. She knows why single mothers aren't attractive. However, she will enforce the orthodoxy and act shocked, pretend that she is stunned by what you just said, in order to destroy your social credibility. Like, she knows right there that she can have a weapon against you. She can destroy your social credibility because orthodoxy is on her side. Alright? And so, it's not that, the problem isn't that they're emotional. The problem is that they're manipulative. And they're manipulative because they know how to navigate social circles. They know exactly what to say in order to destroy a man. She can't destroy a man physically, but she can destroy your reputation, she can destroy your employment, and she can enforce an orthodoxy that advantages her. Normally, they wouldn't be able to do this if, for example, you don't have welfare, right? Like if you have a society like our grandparents had, where every single person has to rely on the family rather than the government, well, then she can't destroy her husband because her husband is the one that provides security for her and is the one that actually provides money for her and the children. And so she can't afford to destroy him. But when the government does that, right, when the government takes money from her husband and gives it to her, she doesn't give a shit. She can't destroy him. Feminism was around before medieval times. Yes, but you didn't have welfare. That's the thing that actually destroyed. It's not like even feminism per se, or no. It's welfare. The idea that when you get old, the government pays you cash, right? Like before that, you needed to have 4 or 5 kids in order to make sure that at least one of them will take care of you when you're old. Now the government takes care of you when you're old. And another thing that also caused a lot of damage is not punishing adultery. Adultery should be punished with prison. I'm not even kidding. And not the woman, the man as well. Like if you're a man and you fuck a woman that's married and you do, you should go to prison. If you're a woman and you're married and you have sex, you should go to prison. You do that, you fix a lot of issues. But the thing is, like, if you actually look at how society functions, in many cases, they actually encourage cheating. So, like, for example, in France, they ban paternity tests. Why do they do that? Right? Now, by the way, it sounds harsh what I'm saying, right? It's like, oh my goodness, V, like going to prison for adultery? You don't need to get married. No one forces you to sign anything, right? Like, you can choose to be celibate, you can choose not to marry, but if you make that choice, if you sign that piece of paper, if you cheated, yeah, I think you should go to prison. Not for long. Now, I'm not saying that you should go to prison for like 20 years. No, but like 1 month, 2 months. Like, it's enough. It's enough. The idea is not punishment. The idea is to dissuade people from doing it. SRC Baker. Okay, now explain to me since I'm half-half. Well, I did. Don't forget Listeria and read my super chat about. I did read that. Marriage contracts currently are the only contracts in the world that the woman actually is financially incentivized to break. I mean, think about it this way, right? So most women, they do not want to marry men that earn less than them. And to be honest, I don't blame them. Like, if I was to go on social media and every time I log on, I would have like 50 thirsty women messaging me, and I can pick any one of them. Like, why would I pick one that doesn't have big tits, fat ass, and earns more than me, right? Like most people would, let's be honest. If all men had this opportunity, if supply and demand was reversed, most men would choose the girl that's hot and earns a lot of money. So, women do the same, right? Well, I mean, women do that actually because like they have a lot of supply. So, they don't pick a man that earns less than them. They get married, and what they find out is that if they file a no-fault divorce, you don't even need to have a reason, right? Literally, like, she's bored, she doesn't like the relationship, no abuse, no nothing, man didn't do anything wrong, right? No-fault divorce. She gets half his shit. And if she has a child, she can also get alimony and child support. So, like, explain to me something, because like, explain it to me like I'm a retard. When you sign a contract and you basically say, for better or for worse, until death does you apart, and you put your name on it, like, no one forces you to sign, right? Like, it's your word, it's your vow, and you sign that. Why is it that when you break that, You make money by breaking it. Like, is there any other contract on planet Earth, in any culture, anywhere, that's like marriage? Because I don't think that is. I don't think like there's any contract where the person that's in violation gets financially compensated, sometimes for decades, just because they broke the contract. And yes, poor stick, sex, and hammer, yeah. No full divorce should not come with dividing assets. I fully agree. I fully agree. In fact, I think like in most cases, dividing assets needs to be reconsidered. Because the law that we're having now, we got it from a time when women didn't work, right? So like the idea is that a divorce, like you spread it in half, because like the woman who didn't work, like she needs to manage to not be homeless. But let's be honest, women work now, okay? Like they do. Men work. It's like why should no, like I understand that if it's a house and you know like she bought stuff and he bought stuff and now like no one knows, like okay. But if it was his house before he got married, why should they sell the house? Why should they divide, you know? What you're saying, VIs have superpowers. I can use logic and pattern magic and the ability to read emotion and manipulate the room. Yes, this is why I don't wanna. Is that why I don't want to voice chat with you? I'd be manipulated. Funniest thing in chat. Do you know which couples divorce less? It is male homosexual. Really? Really? That's fascinating. Okay, so male homosexuals divorce less. Wow. Do lesbian homosexuals, do lesbians divorce more? Do look into the Twitch Women Day event drama. It's pretty funny. Well, not now, but I will. Gays divorcing sounds like a sitcom. Lesbians have very high divorce rate. Oh god. What about transgender people? Do transgender people get married? Like that's another question. Do they get married? I saw a couple back in the day, like the BBC made an article of it. Like they were so fucking proud. It was like two trans people, but it was like the man transitioned to woman and the woman transitioned to man. So it was like still a straight couple. They still had kids. But it's just like they, you know? Oh, there's no data. No one knows. This is an early stream. Nothing about being gay. We're past the homosexuality. Speaking about being gay, I was basically arguing with someone on Twitter, and I was telling them, look, you can really point out at which moment did the people making World of Warcraft started hiring gay people. And can you guys figure out when that happened, right? So like this is classic WoW. By the way, I made a joke, and it turns out that it's not really a joke. Like this is legit. So when I was talking about it, like I recently downloaded World of Warcraft again. I didn't pay anything. You can have a trial version and take a character and level it up until level 20, right? And I wanted to see how the world is like. And I was even tempted. It's like, okay, if it's fun, I'll play again. I mean, I can live stream it. I can have like some people on Discord. We can have fun. But here's the thing, right? The transgender voices from the NPCs, and yes, there's NPCs with transgender voices. Like, I could stomach them. I can just mute the game. That's fine. The women that surrounded me and they sounded fatherless, I can get over those as well. I just press the escape. But these things that look like homosexual furries in fursuits, they make me vomit. And there's no way around them. I can't patch them. I can't like, I see them. And I call them homosexuals in fursuits because literally, like, they look like humans in fursuits. They don't look at all the way that other dragon kid look in WoW. They literally look the way a furry would draw scalies. And I was informed, much to my dismay, that they literally hired a furry artist. I believe they may have even been transgender. But they hired a furry artist in order to draw this. And I was like, oh, fuck me. Really? Yes. Yes, they hired a furry. Wow. Wow. You know, like, the thing is, World of Warcraft already has furries. Like, it doesn't bother me, right? It has the Pandern, it has the Tauren, it has the Worgen. Some may argue that even the Draenei are furries, right? Because, like, the Draenei, like, they're goats, I guess. Like, that's what they're supposed to be, right? So, but they look cool. Like, they actually look like they belong in that universe. They look awesome. These dragons look like they're soy-infested freaks that just fell into a fursuit. They literally look like women in fursuits. Like, look, come on. Come on, like, what are you doing? And you can tell a homosexual person drew them because there's no tits. There's no fucking tits. And it's like, okay, well, shut the fuck up. The Tauren have tits. The Draenei have tits. The Worgen have tits, right? It's a game that's supposed to be cool. It's supposed to be cool. It's supposed to be fantasy. And just so I can explain to you what the entire essence of the game was, right? I will point out that both of these pictures are official fan art. Alright? Look at your screen, you bigot. Look at your screen. Okay? This is what World of Warcraft used to be. This is what World of Warcraft used to be. This is the official fan art for the game. And then you have this shit. I'm just saying, right? Like, I'm not crazy. Are Naga furries? Yes, Nagas are furries. Furries doesn't mean fur. Furries means anthropomorphic creature. Nagas are anthropomorphic snakes. They're anthropomorphic snake. And the Nagas look cool. Like, again, the Nagas, they look fucking cool. Oh my goodness, yes, the Horde has fallen. The Horde has abso-fucking-lutely fallen. Like, right now, you have an expansion that's around the Blood Elves. So, like, finally the Horde gets to shine. You know, finally you can have, like, the Horde being the aggressor. No, the Blood Elves, all of a sudden, despite the fact that they have so many grievances, and they would have, like, the absolute justification to do what needs to be done, they're like, no, we need to be friends. We here believe in peace. And we're going to treat the Alliance and the Horde the same. And like, okay, right. Alright. The lead designer of the playable dragons is a known furry. Yeah, like, I was told. I was told that in a way, I'm happy that my furry radar still works. But seriously, like, that takes me out of the fucking game. Every single time I logged in and I saw one of those, I was like, oh shit. Like, it's just like PTSD, like trauma, because like it reminds me of why they're there. And I know why they're there. It's not like the image of the thing that bothers me. Even though it looks ridiculous, it looks like comical. It's not that. It's the fact that I know why they are there. And it completely breaks my immersion. Game should have ended on Legion. Honestly, if it ended on Legion, you would have lost nothing. I'm generally curious to see the number of players. I think, you know, like WoW still has like a big enough player base, because if they wouldn't, they would have dropped the subscription. But because they still charge people a monthly fee, I think that they're actually okay with the numbers they have. Some of the furry art is pretty cool. Dude, like, it's not the fact that they're furries that's the issue. Like, hold on, let me see if I can find Okay, here we go. They literally have this shit in the game, chat. They literally have this shit in the game. Why don't they look like this? Why do they have to look like... What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Right? They have it in the fucking game. And the dragon chick, give her fucking titties. Give her titties. Oh, wait, it's a lizard. It doesn't have tits. She's a woman. She wouldn't have to be on the front line. Shut the fuck up. You know, you have a female gnoll with a sword tanking Onyxia, and now your realism comes up. Anyway. Yeah, it's no passion, no soul. It's not even safetyism. It's owning the chads. That's it. Owning the chads. They literally know that if they would have made it with... You know what? I'm actually going to ask Grok. Hold on. I'm going to ask Grok to see if I can get a version of how it would look with titties. Make it into a female dragon. Alright, let's see if Grok can help us out. And again, this is why all of them are freaking out over AI. It's because they do not want to draw what the customer wants to buy. That's literally it, right? And then they're upset that the customer goes to AI. It's like, motherfucker, you're killing your own business. It made something interesting, but hold on. I'm adding a few polishes before showing it to you. Okay. Chat. I'm not asking if it's good or not. I'm asking, is it better than the shit that's in the game right now? Like seriously, is it just an addition, just a small addition? Doesn't this actually look cool? I'm just saying, you know, like, would you put it on a poster? I would put it on a poster. It's funny. It's fucking funny, like the female Tauren, right? At least it looks like a fantasy game because it's got like some fantasy in it. Literally, like that's all you need. That, like, just... And no one laughs at it. Yeah, you can work on the face. You know, like, look, this is like some shit that I got generated in a couple of seconds, right? If you want to see a real horror, like, hold on, I'll show you a real horror. To be fair though, right? Like, if you actually work on the face, I do think like it would be a serviceable character. The thing is, like, it doesn't look like a human in a fursuit. That's the important part, right? Don't dragon lay eggs. Who the fuck cares? It's like the rule of cool. That's what you need to go. Like, does it look cool? Like, when you play World of Warcraft and you see a gnome warrior, right? Like, really tiny gnome warrior, tanking Onyxia, and it's like really small, do you care about the realism and the physics and the size? No, you don't. Okay? So, like, why would you care that this character has titties? So what if it like, oh, hold on, the Naga, right? The Naga have tits, and they lay eggs. When did that matter? It's like, look, the game, like, the audience for the game is teenage guys. Literally, that's it. That's who you're trying to sell. You, like, if you're making the video game called Testosterone-Infested Barbarians with Axes and Gore, then your target audience is teenagers. No one else is interested in that, right? And so, if you decide to make transgender testosterone-less barbarians with axes, gore, and soy, you've made a game for no one. There is no demographic for that game. No one wants to play it. And like, trying to do a reality simulator with the fictional characters from your game, instead of thinking like, what would the market think it's cool, that's not going to work either. There's actually a Naga in XCOM, and she was like the most popular character. And she had titties. To be fair, she was like really, really nice. She had a really nice personality. There's this XCOM game. After XCOM 2, they created a SWAT-based game. The idea is that after defeating the aliens, like some aliens remained, and there's now this diverse city where humans and aliens live, and you have a SWAT team and you're deploying it. And one of your characters is a snake lady. It's not really a new XCOM. It's a DLC more like it, because you don't really get like a whole game. It's just like there's no like geo map. You know, you don't have resources and shit. It's literally like you're a SWAT police officer and you're sending in the SWAT team. That was the death of XCOM? No, I don't think that was the death of XCOM. I think it was a bad DLC. I didn't like it, to be honest. But it did have a fan base. Like, I saw people on forums and they really loved the Snake Lady. But the death of XCOM would mean that if they would make XCOM 3 right now, no one would buy it. Like, that's what the death of XCOM would look like, right? Kind of like the death of Star Wars. Like, if they make a Star Wars movie right now, most people wouldn't be interested. So XCOM doesn't have that problem. Like, XCOM, if they make a game now, people will play it. I do think like the aliens would have accepted. Take into account that in XCOM lore, the aliens are actually genetically modified super soldiers. And they listen to the ethereals. But like, if the ethereals go away, and there's like enough of them on Earth, I don't think like the Earth government would genocide them. I think the Earth government would put them to work. So, yeah, I mean, that's the story. But yeah, if you have an alien invasion, and the government understands that the ones that are in control are the ethereals, and they're using mind control, right? But like all the other alien super soldiers are victims from other planets. Like the ethereals conquered those planets and enslaved those people. And the Earth forces managed to destroy the ethereals. And now they have like a couple of aliens stuck on Earth. I don't think they would genocide them. I mean, I think like they would assess the danger, right? So like if you have like extremely dangerous ones, like they would probably be placed in colonies and shit. hoping that they would die out. But if you have like aliens that can actually integrate or do certain jobs that are highly specialized, yeah, I don't think like the governments would be against that. Don Petex, $5. Thank you so much. Tourists try to argue why Argonian women shouldn't have breasts. And the response was, no, there's a reason why they do. It's written in the lore. I don't even fucking care about the lore. Like, when you make a game, who are you making it for and what do they expect? That's the only thing that matters, right? Like World of Warcraft, it has to look sexy and cool. That was the aesthetics, cool and sexy. Like, hold on, let me show you again, right? So you can understand how it all started. Let me just see if I can. All right. Chat, listen, okay? This is the essence. This is like, again, this is the official artwork, all right? From World of Warcraft. What do we see? We see cool, orc, blood on the axe, and sexy. Okay? This is literally what the game needs to have. Anything that deviates from that is wrong. It's wrong. It's not bad. It's incorrect. That is the essence. That is the formula. Okay? That is the special sauce. That is how the original people viewed the game, and that game became a world phenomenon. That's what you need. If you don't have that, you're wrong. Lyson Ruine, thank you for the $5. I liked Chimera Squad. They were acceptables in us, and I like my snake waifu, even if it makes me a heretic. Well, yeah, many people felt like you. Metzen regrets Warcraft. Well, okay, listen. First of all, I don't know like how much from Metzen is actually Metzen and how much from Metzen is the shareholders and the company's PR. Okay? Take into account that people change. It's possible that Metzen grew up. And the Metzen now is not the Metzen who created the World of Warcraft. In other words, it's possible that the Metzen now could never create something as popular as the teenage Metzen. It's just how it works, right? Like, people have a mindset when they grow up, when they're teenagers, they have, like, a different imagination, different aspirations, and then they get surrounded with various people. They get surrounded with toxicity. They stop caring about the game, and they care more about the business. And so they say dumb shit, because maybe, yes, like, maybe the today's Metzen would never be capable of making World of Warcraft. Like, he would make gay shit, which probably wouldn't sell. It's kind of like, you know, when you have a guy that's really cool in college, like Al Bundy from Married with Children, right? Like Al Bundy in college, football player, you know, was really attractive, and then he ends up as a couch potato and shoe salesman. He has seen greatness and recognizes he is retarded. You know who Metzen reminds me of? There are a lot of YouTubers that start and they become extremely popular. Like Wigs of Liberty. Wigs of Liberty is actually a great example. He starts, he is a Call of Duty player. And he gets a huge audience. But at a certain point, he just hates Call of Duty. He starts hating it. He hates it because he played it too much. Right? And he wants to change his channel. He doesn't want to do Call of Duty anymore. He wants to do League of Legends. And everyone unsubscribed. Everyone hates him. And that's pretty much what Metzen is. Like, he makes World of Warcraft. He makes it cool. He makes it edgy and sexy. And he gets bored of it. You know, he's surrounded himself by other people that are now the correct people. And they make him ashamed for being what he used to be. And so, like, now he wants to change. And they probably gaslight him as well. They probably tell him, oh, well, if this was more like Disney, if it was quirky and funny, if it was more CalArts, then maybe more people would have played. Because look at Overwatch. Overwatch is quirky, right? If we make more quirkiness with millennial jokes and millennial quips and characters that look like furry, and we appeal to the homosexuals a little bit more, then the game is going to become as popular as it used to be. Anyway, chat, I do need to go to bed. This is why I started streaming earlier. I do want to thank everyone for the super chats. Thank you, SRC Baker, again. Thank you, Jankus. Let me see if I didn't miss one. Thank you, Lizon, Don Petex, Sergeant Gunnery, Adonis Adams, Christopher Keating. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and the live stream. I will see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, there's probably not going to be a show tonight. I'm going to be maidenless. If I reschedule it, I'll let you know. Take care.